Does look a bit spooky, right? Imagine this place back in the day. Probably was amazing, probably was beautiful. Like I was saying before, a lot of famous performers, comedians came here. Like Jerry Seinfeld, Joan Rivers. Right now, we're inside the remnants of a classic abandoned resort. Now this place was super famous back in the day. A lot of comedians, performers, well-known people came here to entertain the guests, and now it looks like an abandoned wasteland. Specifically right now, we are in the building that used to be the hotel rooms, and we're not sure actually what's left here, so we're gonna take you around, explore more, and find out what's left. Let's go. So right now, we are in what I believe was a building that was for the rooms for these guests that were staying here. It's really hard to tell though because of just how this place looks. When I look around, I'm picturing like 10 years after the apocalypse hit, and everything is pretty much destroyed, but it has like a really cool sense of this natural decay, which I just love. So I just love the vibe of this place so far. Also, I wanted to show you this. I wonder what this was. You think maybe like a piano went on there? And maybe this could have been like a little bit of a lounge area? It does look like it. But it is a little confusing. I mean, that's not even the carpet over there. That's just moss that's grown, from this place just being exposed to the elements. You can actually hear the water pouring down. That's that noise. And I just wanted to say, we're gonna have to be super careful exploring this place because the wood here is so soggy. Everything is just waterlogged and drenched. And you just have to be careful because you can fall through the floor. Something could fall on your head, so we just have to be aware and, just keep safe and keep exploring. So always some good advice when you're exploring a place like this. Just watch the floor, go slow, because it only takes 1 second to fall right through. We just got up the stairs. Didn't know what to expect. It looks really gutted out and really super decayed. Like they kind of just took everything out of here, and some of the windows are blown out, so there's a lot of water damage, stuff like that. But we're gonna just keep checking around. You never know what you're gonna find, but it does look a bit spooky, right? Imagine this place back in the day. Probably was amazing, probably was beautiful. Now it looks like this. Remember I was saying everything is wide open. I mean, there's a window that's wide open in one of the rooms. At the end of the hallway, completely just wide open. Keep checking this out. This one has some like pink wallpaper. But the floors are pretty sus here. Not gonna lie. Certain sections are concrete like this, but you're like stepping on the debris from the ceiling too. So it gives you like an uneasy feeling. Let's just head into one of these rooms and I'll show you guys kind of what's left. It's really not much. But you gotta imagine this place back in the day, how amazing it was. And then it looks like this now. It's so crazy. I'm like going to someone's room. Yeah, look. Really not much left in here. You can see this is probably like a little vanity area. Tissues. The tissues, look at that. All this time, they're still good. But here's the bathroom. Not much you can see. Let me get in here. Has a little tub, shower, toilet, sink with the mirrors. No mirrors left, no sink left. Just pure decay. And this is gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound so crazy. I was standing right here, filming the bathroom. And I thought Urbex Muse was walking right here. I thought she was standing right here waiting for me. I just feel like I saw somebody right here. That was wild. I mean, it could have been just some of this stuff like the shapes and everything, but that doesn't usually happen to me. It was weird. We just got up to the 5th floor, and as you can see, all these floors are looking the same. They did take everything out, and just the natural elements have created so much decay. It's just amazing. You can hear the water just dripping in, over time. It's just crazy how much a place can change. Right now we're heading out to another building. Hopefully we'll find the theater and some other cool stuff, so let's get to it. Just got into the other building. Had to make a long trek around a little mini pond, and we're here. And I found some evidence of what this place formerly was. I know this place did have their own golf course, and here's their little cart with some golf clubs left, so that's really cool. Let's take a closer look. I head up and see what we can find upstairs. As I'm heading up the stairs, I couldn't help but notice this moss carpet that's now growing over the original carpet. Crazy how nature just reclaims whatever it wants. I just noticed this awesome chandelier. Look how amazing that is. I wonder what it looked like all lit up. Probably was so beautiful. It still is after all these years. We just got up the stairs. This to me looks like a area where people would eat, maybe like even for parties and stuff like that. Just imagine a bunch of tables, bunch of chairs filled with people. Now it's so empty, it's so quiet. It's very strange in here. All we hear is just the noise from our cameras and the noise of the rain falling through the ceiling. See, they had these kind of like temporary walls set up, and if you look up here, you can see it was on a track. So they would close these off, probably for private parties. People can book these certain rooms for events and things like that. So just kind of trying to figure out everything that was once going on here. Here's the lounge area and the bar. Really trashed right now. Kind of sad to see that people would actually vandalize this place. Just goes to show that the vandals don't care about the history, they don't care about these places at all. Such a shame. This was an amazing room, and it's honestly like iconic. Back in the day, famous performers came here, famous comedians came here. This place probably had so much life, so much energy, and to just vandalize it it doesn't make sense to me. We are behind the theater right now. Actually, not even behind it, above the theater, I guess. And there's some CDs left. I'm sure they would play these like over all the speakers they had here. Some stuff says March, edited length. I think I saw like a Billboard Christmas. So some remnants of the past here, but we're gonna see what else we could find. Found this old headset. Even has like a microphone on it. I wonder who was using this. Wonder what they're using it for, where they are now. So many questions when we find all this stuff left behind. Even found some old VHS. I don't even know what this is. Back to School? Something with like HBO. There's a whole box of them actually right here. A little weird. You don't really see these anymore. These are a dying breed. It reminds me of the old Blockbuster. This little section was above the theater. It's actually hard for me to talk because there's so much water pouring in this place. It sounds like we're near a waterfall. But this was probably where someone who was in control of the audio for the events that would go on in here. If there was a comedian performing, if there was someone who was singing, this person up here was their job to listen, make sure the mics were working, make sure speakers were working. It just doesn't have that same magic anymore. I imagine there'd be like all these computers and soundboards and stuff like that. And now it's all just bare and wood. But you can try to just take that time machine back and picture what it looked like and how it felt in here when this place was active. So hopefully you can hear me, but right now, like I said, we are above the theater, checking out where the sound guy would sit. I just want to give you an overview. You look at this place, it has this crazy blue color. Probably looked awesome back in the day. I mean, I can't even imagine what it looked like just from, you know, I've seen pictures of this place, but I wonder if some of the performers who came here, if they saw this place, what they would think. They'd probably be super sad, you know. I bet they remembered coming here. I bet they remembered, you know, all the people who laughed and all the people who enjoyed their show. And now it just looks like this. Now we are ground floor, gonna go in the theater and take a better look, so you can get a closer look at this theater and maybe even get on the stage. Looking in the theater at first, I looked over and I was like, what is all this? Is this all golf bags and golf clubs? I know this place had a country club, and that was like a big selling point that people could come here and play golf. But damn, they left all the golf clubs, everything behind. Walk into the theater. We're just surrounded by that sound of dripping water. And it's actually massive, you know, when we were looking at this place from above, it didn't seem so giant, but the ceilings are super tall. They gotta be at least 20 feet, probably higher than that. And just overall, I mean, I don't know how many people would fit in here. Definitely a lot, but it's still just amazing to see this. And, you know, like I was saying before, you know, a lot of famous performers, comedians came here. Like Jerry Seinfeld, Joan Rivers. Like, these are people who are super famous. They were here at one point. They made this crowd laugh. They made this crowd happy. And now it looks like this, you know, all that laughter, you know, does that stay here? Does the energy from that room, does that stay in this place? Here's one section. Look at this rug. This is such like 90s vibes here. I'm sure this section was filled with chairs and tables so people could get a drink at the bar upstairs, or maybe they had some food and they would just sit down and enjoy the show. And it's so empty here. It's like, I can't even imagine this place filled with people and the lights working, and I'm sure it was amazing. And I wish I could just take a time machine and go back and enjoy one show here. You have to be super careful in here. We're not going to spend too much time. You can just see the ceiling of this theater is definitely not in good shape. I don't know, you know, this could collapse on us. Obviously some ceiling tiles did fall out, so who knows what's going to happen, but definitely want to play it safe and get out of here as fast as possible. When I look at this table, this lonely table, 2 chairs left. It's like there's still some guests sitting here, still enjoying the show after all these years. That's what it reminds me of. I just picture 2 people sitting here, and they're having a good time, they're on vacation. And, you know, it just hits you that a place like this, like how could it just end up abandoned? How could it end up so destroyed? Look over at that wall. It looks like a galaxy. You can kind of almost see like a horse head right there. That was like the theme here. This was like the galaxy theater room, show room. You can even see it up there. It looks really cool. I just love the blue theme of this. It's just amazing. But like I was saying before, look at the ceiling. It's all falling down as you look up here. It's all decayed and the wood is rotted, and it's just waiting to collapse. Soon this theater will be gone, and it won't have been demolished. It'll have been destroyed by nature, reclaiming its territory. One thing I want to do before we leave this place, we might never return here. It might be destroyed by the time I ever want to come back here, but I want to go on the stage, and I want to just, you know, feel that energy, feel that feeling of what it's like to stand there and just look out. So let's go do that. Look at that water pouring in, just listen to it. You know, how much more can this building take as we look up? It's just, you know, it's not going to be too much longer before the support beams give out and this theater will be gone forever. Right now I'm heading on stage, and honestly this is probably not super safe, but I'm going to see what I can do. Take a look at the stage back here and you know, how this all, well, it had like some sort of like glitter on these curtains back here. I'm sure it was shining like crazy, and they still have a lot of the lights hanging up. Now you wouldn't want one of those to fall down and smack you in the head. It would probably kill you, but I just want to show you guys because this is the last chance we're ever going to see this place, really. I just want to go out there center stage just to feel what it's like. And I'm just taking my time. I don't want to fall through the stage floor. It feels pretty sturdy, but you never really know. Look at that water pouring on the stage. Yeah, I'm not going to go over there. I don't want to get soaked. But imagine standing here. Look at all this reflecting back at us. No, Jerry Seinfeld stood on the stage. Joan Rivers stood where I'm standing. Other famous performers, comedians stood right here. They captivated these audiences. And that's just amazing to know I'm standing right in that same position they were after all these years. We're actually going to head into some of the back rooms here, kind of like behind the scenes, backstage. But I thought this was all like molds, but it's actually just a design, kind of like I was showing you before. It's supposed to look like stars and the galaxy. Pretty awesome. Here is some proof, actually, of who used to perform here. All these headshots of these actors. I'm not sure if they were actors, comedians, singers, stuff like that. Like Ann Dawson. Like these are kind of past my time. I'm not really sure. Malsey Lawrence. But some of these are actually signed. Like this one was signed. You can see it says like to someone. Probably like the property manager who was here. And there's some more. I'm sure some people recognize these, but I just want to show you because this is like, I don't know, this is awesome to see this. This one's signed. That one's straight up signed. And you can tell how faded and old these are. Oh, this is so cool. This just brings like the life back to this place for me. So we're back here in this section. I want to see if there was any dressing rooms for the people who were performing. And there is. There's actually 2. And you can see, look, dressing room number 2, star room. This one's still in pretty good shape. Has a couch. Let's go in here. Even has this for music. Their own bathroom. Just hangers and stuff. And here's the mirror. I'm sure it would have lights all around it, and they can get ready. So there was a chair right in the middle, but you know, it's amazing when you think about, you know, who looked into this mirror. You know, what famous person stood here, sat here, got ready for a show? You know, what were they thinking about? What was going on in their mind? It's just so weird to think about it. They were here in this room, right where we are now. They were right here, looking into this same mirror. Amazing. Amazing to be here, just experience this. And this is why urbex is just, there's no other hobby like this. There's no other feeling like this in the world. You can't get this anywhere else. Only right here. This section right here was where they would come out onto stage. They would walk right through this same area. Walk right through here. And they'd say, "Here's Jerry Seinfeld," and he would come out right here, boom. It's like this. "Hey everybody," you know. Like you just get chills. I get chills doing that. Because it doesn't happen anymore here. It's quiet now. It's destroyed. It's just amazing. It's amazing to experience this. Just to be here. So glad I can bring everybody along and show them this, because this is a dying breed of places. These places are going to be gone one day. And now we have documentation. Now we can remember them. Alright everyone, we're going to end the video right here. We just explored this amazing resort. We're actually in the theater right now. I'm in the dressing room. I just want to sit down and kind of just take this place in one last time before we leave here, you know. A lot of famous people came here. A lot of famous people were sitting right where I am right now. This was the place where they got ready before they went on stage, you know. It's just an incredible location. So much history, so much energy in this place. You can still feel it to this day, right now as we're here. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and like always, get out and explore more.